No question. And the last time that Scott Griffin joined the show, he had a lot to say about Alabama. I really look forward to whatever he has to say about UAB and Tennessee this week. Scott, welcome into Southeast Sports Plus from Birmingham. Appreciate your time, sir. Sports director, newly appointed sports director there. Congratulations on that
Thank
role.
you.
Certainly deserving, and really glad for you. I know this is a super busy time, but when you look at this one on Saturday, what is, like, if you had to sum it up, what would be the first thought that comes to your mind?
Help, I need somebody, help. You've heard the song. Look, I mean, Tennessee loses that game against Georgia, and now they write a check to come beat your brains in.
Yeah.
That's difficult. Now, I will say this. I think Trent Dilfer has the right perspective on it. Obviously, as you know, you're just trying to get better. Yes, they're going to say, oh, we're going to try to win the game, but we all know what's going to happen there. Let's just be realistic. So, they just need to get better. So what does that mean? That means competing against a top 20 team that has a mat on, right? Just competing, getting better, almost looking at it like you're just sharpening yourself for the rest of your conference schedule. So I think he's realistic about those things. Now, I will say this. Their offense is really good, Simone and Gerhard. They're top. They were 18th a couple of weeks ago. Jalen Kitna, John Kitna's son, is really good. He's an NFL quarterback. He's 6'5". He could make every throw. He's really good. Trent Dilfer knows how to call offense. So I think they'll score on Tennessee, even with the mat on. They might score 3 touchdowns. So I'm not saying it's going to be close, but I don't think you're going to see 49-3. In this one.
Okay, interesting.
That is interesting. It is
interesting. That's just a thought.
I get it. No, I get it. And you mentioned John Kitna being the son of an NFL coach. That's probably the reason why Mr. Kitna, probably convinced his son to go down there with Trent Dilfer. What do you make of what Trent Dilfer has done with the quarterbacks? Because it seems like of all the positions and of all the things that have gone wrong at UAB, they've happened to get that position right. Although the defense has been shaky and everything else has been shaky as well.
You're right. I mean, Jacob Zeno was really good.
Yep.
He made a mistake, obviously, transferring to A&M because he's like third team there now. But he was very talented and really good. And then they got Kitna. We all know what happened at Florida with all those things. And he's turned his life around, got married, and he's really good. Again, when you've had Trent Dilfer, who played in the NFL, as you guys know, and then your dad did, and I talked to him this week about it on the Inferno podcast that UAB does. He's sat around the table with that, right? So he's getting it from his coach, and all that's doing is reinforcing what he's heard from his dad all the time. As far as thinking through the game, situational, keep your cool, don't get overwhelmed because it's Tennessee and the fans are going nuts, all those things that he's going to face. So I think he's got a great demeanor. He's bounced back from his issues and bad choices well, and we forget he's a 4-star kid. He's really good. So, and they've got some good receivers. They got a kid named Milliner. They've got some running backs. They got Josh Jacobs' brother, Isaiah Jacobs. They got a kid named Beebe who's really good. He's leading the conference at kickoff returns. They've got some skill talent to do some things. Their offensive line is also playing out of their minds and playing better. We'll see what happens Saturday, but they could put 17-21, which doesn't, people watching may think that's no big deal. But this is UAB versus Tennessee after a Tennessee loss, right?
No question. A lot of storylines in this one, no question about that, Scott. Let's take a listen to Coach Dilfer as UAB is gearing up for this game in Knoxville.
I mean, you're always trying to win the game. I've been in a lot of games where you're a big underdog and, nobody gives you a chance. And, as a competitor, you're still trying to find a way to win. But I think we have to get better, and that's why I said that in the beginning of the season. I've been saying to the team is, this first third of the season is really finding out who we are and making sure we're getting better and making sure that we're correcting mistakes, that nothing becomes habitual, that we're identifying people that fit into the systems the best, people that are playing the hardest, people that are the most invested. So you just, without preseason football, you can't really know. It's not like we've had a lot of these players for 2-3 years and know their DNA. So we're finding out their DNA as competitors as the season goes on, and you're seeing how they fit into the system. So I think a victory in this game is what you're looking for, but there's other victories too. You want to be emotionally sharp throughout the game in a climate that's going to be difficult to handle your emotions. You want to be mentally sharp and clear of thought in an environment that's going to be hard to be clear of thought because it's going to be so loud and so intense. And then physically, you want to compete through the whistle against a team that is very physical and very fast, very explosive. It's going to compete as hard as you, if not harder. So I think you look for the victory in the game, but you also look for the victories emotionally, mentally, and physically in individual matchups and units.
So, Scott, a lot to unpack there, Scott, and it's not like this is any secret that Trent Dilfer has been under a significant amount of heat there at UAB. He's 9-18 in his time coaching there at UAB. Of course, he was hired in 2023 after a very brief stint in the high school game. So hired primarily because of what he did as a player, not only at the college level, but also in the NFL. But that doesn't always mean that that translates to being able to coach football. And a lot of people would say that in the case of Trent Dilfer, he can't coach football. And, you listen to him there and he says, hey, we haven't had these guys for a long time. We haven't spent a lot of time. We got a bunch of new people. I mean, okay, him and 164 football programs in the country are dealing with the same situation. And so, again, I didn't sound like he was excuse making necessarily. But my question to you is, what is the temperature on him there at UAB at this time? And has it loosened any bit with a win over Akron? I highly doubt it. But how do you feel like things are with them getting in some talent and trying to turn things around?
I felt pretty good after the first couple of games. They beat Alabama State in a shootout, but they put up 52. Then they went on the road to Navy and had all the disruptions with the 2.5 hour, couple of rain delays that added up to 2.5 hours. And they put 24 on Navy and was in the game till pretty much close to the fourth quarter. That's a hard place to play and a difficult team to play. Last week, Akron had not scored all year, but they were better than people thought, probably a little bit. But UAB had the opponent on their home field driving for a chance to win. That's not good. But they are 2-1. They only won a couple last year. He had to get a new defensive staff. He was forced to make changes there, and that's been by far the weakest side of the ball for him.
Sure.
So I'm not sure that's been the answer either. I think he's true to himself that he looked in the mirror and did a lot of self-reflection in the off season. So I don't think it's his way or the highway kind of thinking. He's changed a lot of what he's talking about and saying and the way he positions things to the media. So I'm going to give him a pass here, and we'll see. I'm going to need to see a few more games before I judge whether he can coach or not. But he's a really good, as you guys know, he's a really good developer of quarterbacks and offensive side of football. They got Mortensen over there who came from Nick Saban's staff. So they're really good offensively. But overall running a program, I don't know. We'll see.
And I do think I do think that it's important to note what you just said, which is that he reinvented himself, so to speak, when it comes to how he handles media, lines of questioning, just the kind of the smugness that he had for a long time there and almost being demeaning at times in terms of how people are questioning certain things there at UAB. And it seems like he's maybe, like you said, done some soul searching. And that's really, really hard for someone who's a Super Bowl champion or anyone, really. I mean, that's hard for us to do at times. I mean, nobody wants to look in the mirror and say, I've got to change my attitude. But he did. And I think that's certainly something that's admirable.
Yeah, I think he did that hard work, to your point, and he did it in the offseason. And it comes across in the times I've spent with him personally on doing some podcasts and then also, at his weekly press conference deal. So I think he's genuine. Sometimes he's too genuine, probably too honest. So he probably has to dial that back a little bit. Yeah. But, I'm not ready to say he's there forever or anything like that. But we got to remember in this day and time, as you guys know, buying out a coach, let's say he goes, 3-9 or 4-8, whatever, and there's the naysayers are out there. I don't know if UAB at this level program or many programs that can buy out coaches with multiple years left because of the NIL and where they are.
Yeah.
It's not like, and fans haven't gotten used to that yet. Oh, write a check, get rid of Kalen DeBoer.
Well,
really? Write a check for $68 million?
No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy that's not going to happen as much these days with the NIL. So you better be making your choices correctly from the AD and boards when you make a hire, because those days of writing checks, blank checks to get out of here, are probably gone.
Yeah. I wanted to ask more of a
In my
big picture.
opinion.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. I want to ask more of a big picture question about the fan base there, because it felt like when this program was revived, immediately they were on fire. They went to a bowl game. They had Bill Clark and had all this energy, and then obviously Bryant Vincent came in, won the Bahamas Bowl, and back in 2021 they had 9 wins, and then under Vincent they had 7, and then they had 4 2 years ago. Then they had 3 last year. What's the overall mood of the fan base that was just so jacked up not that long ago about this program going to 5 or 6 straight bowl games in a row to where they are now? And given the fact that they're in a very difficult league with Tulane and South Florida and all these other teams that are in the American.
Yeah, there's some good football, underrated football in that league for sure. You know, it's not the greatest. If you're going to hire a big name splash like Simone was talking about a while ago, even though he was a high school coach, this is a different deal. You're at lower level college football. So how do you navigate that?
Well,
and he had
UAB fans don't even want to hear that you say lower level college football. I mean, if you say lower level college football, I mean, you and I and Gerhard and Patrick know what you're saying, but fans, the fan ear to that is like, no, we're not. No, we're not. We have a bowl win. No, we're not.
It's my team, right?
I mean, well, even so, but there might be some truth to what UAB was. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Scott, but I just think that just to, you know, I think that that is part of the issue, is that I think that there's a lot of proud people there, and there's a lot of politics in the entire, in just football in general in the state of Alabama. We certainly don't have time to get to all of that today, but I do think that fans, to your point, Scott, and to Gerhard's question, is that like they didn't want to see this program take a step back. They don't want to feel like they're lower level college football. They want to feel like they're upper level. I mean, right now, a P5 or a group of 5 team gets to compete for a national championship. And UAB fans probably felt like 3 years ago, if that was a reality, that they might be in that conversation. Right. And they dang sure aren't now.
Well, and if they had stayed the course, they would be in the Big 12. Yep. You know what I mean? In the conversation. And to your point, they're not now. So, you know, they're not happy. I mean, you know, they're over the name thing and all that. All that's cute and cool, but when you're 9 and 18 or whatever he is, that's not going to do a lot, and people aren't going to buy tickets just for that reason. So, I have been impressed that they've been competitive so far. They're 2-1. The 2 games they won they should have won. So I'm not saying that, but they were really competitive against Navy. We'll find out. This is a big test, just to play. We know they're going to lose, but just to play hard, get better, right? I mean, let's be honest, they're going to lose.
I mean,
but can they score
they are.
3
There's no question.
touchdowns?
I just think it's funny the way you said it. You're like, well, listen, we can talk. We can spend 40 minutes on this show today if we want to, but we know how this one's going to end up. Scott, before we let you go, just got to ask you about the state of the state, of course. Just your brief take on, is Bama back, number 1? Number 2, does Auburn have enough to get it done in Norman?
Okay, let's start with Bama. I think they obviously played well against Wisconsin. They carried over whatever they had for the mojo from Louisiana Monroe. I'm not ready to, relax and crown them with Alabama's back, right? Because we're going to find out.
We are that.
Yeah.
They're back. And I just got off the phone with Scott Cochran, the West Alabama coach, who knows Kirby Smart well, as you know, and Nick Saban, and he just says flat out, Georgia's tougher, and I think he's correct. So we're going to find out on the road in Athens, living out of a suitcase, what Alabama's about. We'll see. I don't think they've run the ball enough. They ran 15 times from the tailback position against Wisconsin. We talked about what they did the first drive of the year, and then got away from the run. So they're becoming way too one-dimensional. Ty Simpson's had a terrific last couple of weeks. But Kirby Smart's going to take away the run and make you pass, and that ain't good.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm concerned for them. We'll see. We're going to have to wait and see on that. Auburn, Oklahoma, it's hard to tell about Auburn, right? They've got Jackson Arnold. He's played very well. He reads the RPOs. He's making the right decisions out of the RPOs that Peyton Thorne did not do. So he's pulling it when he needs to pull it and hitting the open guy, and then running it when he needs to run it. Thorne had a big problem with that. So he's playing well. The offensive line's playing better. Defensively, they're not there. But Oklahoma is different. Venables is there now. It's going to be a chip on your shoulder game with Arnold. Although they're saying all the right things, he still left Oklahoma to go to Auburn. So, but that'll be over with after half of the first quarter, I should say. Mm-hmm. But, I think it's find out. I can't tell you what I think of Auburn. We're going to find out a lot.
Yeah.
Gut check
in the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are.
Scott, we appreciate your analysis and your guarantee that UAB is going to go up to Knoxville and lose the football game.
And also possibly score 3 touchdowns. Those are both, those are both strong. Only one's strong. One is accurate, and the one's just strong to say out loud, and the other is strong to predict. So 3 touchdowns with a loss. We'll find out.
I love it.
Yeah. Griff brought to you by DraftKings. Here we go.
Honestly, we're going to find somebody that's going to be, your segment deserves to be sponsored. This one and not the one at 4. I love it.
No question. Scott, you're the best man. We appreciate you.